So earlier this morning, Rockstar dropped the newest Cayo Perico Heist trailer. It was a minute-long trailer that actually showed us way more than the other two trailers combined. And in this video, I am going to be breaking it down, showing you guys everything you might have missed. Because honestly, there's quite a bit. Now first, I want to actually start with the promotional art for this upcoming heist, because this actually gives us a ton of really cool information. So let's start over here on the right just to get this part done. Obviously you have the logo, but right underneath it, boom, we can see the new submarine that we are going to own. It is kind of a weirdly shaped submarine, and I am sort of curious as to why this is the case. Like, it has a flat area. Now you'll see in the trailer we saw a missile shoot out of it. But maybe somehow this flat area is for you to land like a helicopter or something. Speaking of helicopters, up here, we have the Sea Sparrow. Amazing. That was such a classic helicopter from the previous game, so it is cool to see that. But we're getting too far ahead of ourselves because there's another thing down here at the bottom right. This right here that I am sort of hovering over or circling around apparently is a lighthouse. So we're gonna be getting a lighthouse. I know some people were trying to figure out like specifically where or what parts of the island this is looking at. I believe it's very faint, but this could be that radio tower we saw in like the first trailer. But I believe this is a lighthouse, which is cool. And then we do see a look at the new boat, or I guess a modified version of the boat we have at the moment. Now going to the left side, again, I mentioned that Sea Sparrow, that's cool to see. At the top right, we have a new freaking jet, which is gonna be really cool. Probably cost like 5 mil, but that should be pretty dang cool to play with in free mode. We also see a bunch of new NPCs. Obviously, we have El Rubio, the main bad guy, the main villain in the middle. Looks like we have some DJs. I'm sure they'll be a part of that new music locker club. You can see, I guess, what his guards are going to look like. So more of a casual style, which will be just something new to sort of experience, I guess. And then at the bottom, we have 3 new vehicles. We have the Jeep, which we have seen a bunch of in the previous trailers, but these other 2 vehicles are new. We have a new 4-wheeler, which might be cool to use on the island and maybe even up north in Los Santos. And then a new sports classic. So that's going to be hopefully one of many they drop in this DLC. Okay, now getting into the trailer, we're just going to go sort of frame by frame. And it starts out with these 2 NPCs getting on a jet with actually our character. This looks like a player-made character, not an NPC. So it'll be interesting how this actually works. I'm guessing this is going to be the cutscene where we get on the jet and fly to the new island, which would somewhat indicate that this isn't going to be in free mode, but we still don't know that officially, so I guess we can hold out hope. One thing about this particular jet, I think this is just the Luxor. This could be the new one we saw in the trailer, in the second trailer, but it does just look like a Luxor that's like painted a little bit differently. If anyone has any guesses as to what this is, if it's not the Luxor, then let us know in the comment section below. Here we have just the basically opposite direction. You can see, I'm assuming this is to be our character or just a player character, the 2 NPCs. And this is at the airport, just in case anyone was wondering. You can see the city in the background. So you go to this hangar, and then I guess you fly to the island. Then it goes into the island where you can see the logo. Here's a better picture of this. You can see a lot of sort of vegetation and I guess, what is it, fauna or flora. I think this does look a little bit better than obviously what we have in Los Santos, which is to be expected given the fact that this is made 7 years later. It does still look a little dated, but again, this is a 2013 game. As for what's on the island, you can see this is just a little maybe boat area. The water does go in there. I think this is actually the area we saw in the second trailer with the crane, and there was like 2 boats, I believe. You can actually see on this far right a boat, which I'm guessing this is probably security. So I'm sure once we go through this heist, you'll have to worry about security sweeps and you'll have to sort of stealthily get through it if you don't want to just fight your way in. Then we go to a scene on the beach with those parties like the NPCs mentioned. This is our character again. You can see a bunch of NPCs in the background, but this is a player character. Not entirely sure if these are new clothes. If anyone knows, you can let us know, but nothing really too important in these couple of pictures, although these are the new DJs. And basically this whole sequence, like this guy's saying, hey, we're all on this island because of one man. And that one man being this guy, El Rubio. Before we get any further, I believe this is that same plane perhaps we just saw at the airport. It's really hard to tell. This does look a little different than the Luxor, but again, if anyone's more of a plane guy, I haven't really flown that, you can be more specific, hopefully in the comment section below. But yeah, El Rubio. I kind of dig his style, and I think he'll be a pretty fun villain for this heist. A lot of this trailer actually took place inside of the new club that's coming to the casino, the Music Locker. This is underneath the casino. Don't exactly know how you're gonna get to it, if you're gonna get to it from inside of the casino, or if there's gonna be another entrance, but you can see, I mean, it does just look like our nightclubs we have at the moment. I don't think really anything crazy has changed. You can definitely see it is more underground style. You can see the pipes and everything, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is a nightclub and it'll probably be just the area we go to for this heist. And speaking of the heist, somehow it seems like English Dave is a part of it, or at least he knows who El Rubio is. It is interesting. I'm not going to play the sound just because of like copyright issues, but he does say at the beginning or during this scene that he has seen El Rubio like go down, chase someone down a beach on a panther. We haven't seen any animals in these trailers, but I don't know. Maybe there might be a panther we have to fight, which would mean animals might be in GTA Online in this DLC, or at least on this island. And then I guess this is just a cutscene with the girl here talking to English Dave. You can see the nightclub in the background, do have some security. Pretty standard nightclub, like I mentioned. More nightclub pictures. This is one of the new DJs. I think this red door is how we enter. This red door has popped up a couple of areas in a couple of pictures of this Music Locker club. So I'm guessing that's going to be like the entrance, the secret red door entrance. Back to the island. This is where things start to get exciting in the trailer. You can see a lot more of the bushes and the fauna, the flora. So I am excited to see, you know, how this island plays out. We have a look at one of the dude's bodyguards rocking a sniper. I don't know, have we ever seen NPCs use snipers? That could be pretty damn dangerous if the NPCs are like the Doomsday NPCs where they don't miss, where they have freaking like aim lock, because a sniper does a decent amount of damage. So that may be something we have to take into account. And then over here in the middle, sort of on the back of the island, that's that same area we saw at the beginning. You can see the inlet going to the little, I guess, bay or whatever you want to call that. Then they start talking about or showing off things we're going to be able to do in the heist. So I'm assuming this is us going undercover, you know, in the stealth and the darkness of night, going in stealthily with our night vision camera. I guess we're hacking or we're doing something on this. I think this is actually the print cloner screen. I'm going to assume this is like a little mini game we have to do to get a fingerprint. If we are going to go in, let's say, stealthily, you use the fingerprint that you cloned to get in rather than just go guns a-blazing. Back to the club in the trailer we go, and this is actually our first look at the new NPC. Don't know his name, but this is the guy that we talked to that basically gets us involved in this whole operation. We have our player character here, probably some new clothing he's wearing, but I am not 100% sure. This is what's freaking awesome though. This right here. I think this might be our player character, but if it's not, and this is us, that's even cooler because we'll see a better look at this helicopter, but this is like a freaking armored, almost modern-esque Huey helicopter. And if we can like rappel down it, that would be amazing. Back to the guy at hand here. I don't know, it's hard to tell from this angle, but this could be a new Mark II weapon. I don't know if Rockstar's really mentioned if we're gonna get new weapons, but we are getting a lot of new military style stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get some new weapons. And then a little Rockstar logic. What in God's name is this? That's a 2013 game for you. Now, I am really hoping that this isn't just in this heist. I'm sure it will be, but could you imagine if we have a freaking grapple hook in GTA Online now? That would be freaking awesome. Don't think this is new clothing. I believe that's stuff we already have in the game, but the grapple hook, that's honestly just amazing. And then I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me here, but this scene, she's opening or cutting a hole in glass, but unless this is the most transparent glass I've ever seen, what is going on here? If anyone has any idea, let me know. And I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but there's no glass here, it looks like. So I don't know what's going on. But I guess this is one of the art pieces you steal. It does seem like this is going to be a very casino-esque, where you have multiple different options to steal. Like we have the art. I think they said drug items. You also have cash, I believe. And we do actually get a look at how much this stuff's worth, which is coming up here soon. The only other thing regarding this particular picture is way back here. This does look like a new gun. It almost reminds me of a DMR or might even be a LMG, but it does look like a bigger gun, and it doesn't really look like anything we have at the moment. So more new guns probably are coming. And then just that new guy again. He does say that I need someone to rob it. He says he needs someone to rob it. So why he needs someone, why he's getting us involved, how we get involved, who is this? These are a lot of the questions we are still wondering. And then we have a look at the sub. Can't really tell much here because this is the underside of it, but it is cool. The interior of the sub, I'm guessing we have obviously other characters, other players in here, but there are 5. Usually heists only have 4, so I'm guessing one of these, probably this dude in the back, is just a permanent NPC. We do have missiles. We thought this was going to happen, and sure enough, it did. Missiles active. This is a player shooting missiles, and you can see the sub is above the water. That's a pretty big submarine, by the way. It is a pretty big missile, too. I just pray to God that this missile is not in free mode. Although I will say, if you could use this missile to lock onto a Oppressor Mark II griefers, I might take that. Now we have 2 helicopters that are following us here. I'm guessing that we're in some sort of helicopter, maybe even a new helicopter. Although this is the Buzzard, this is the Savage. These 2 aren't new. The only thing that was interesting, this picture, this is a Marine. This is a guy from Fort Zancudo. Why is a guy from Fort Zancudo at this guy's base? I don't know, because we saw in the promotional screen art, his guys are kind of just casual. So why is this guy in an army suit? I don't know if this is just a Rockstar logic or if there's a specific reason why Fort Zancudo people are also coming after us. And then just to go back, you don't see no island in the background. So this probably just going to be in the heist. Here we have a look at the money. We have a look at a bunch of stuff in this picture. So we do have a look at the island. This is all the little points and stuff that you can go over and go into. Actually, it's very hard to see. I'll zoom in. Up here, these are the different checkpoints we can do for the island. And I believe this top one says secondary targets, and there's 24 to 24. So I guess that's extra stuff we can do. It's hard to see what this second one is, but it does say 8 out of 8. We have escape points as the third one, 4 to 4. So there's only 4 escape points. You have compound entry points as this fourth one. And I think that's 8 out of 8. So 8 ways to enter the compound. And then points of interest, 8 out of 8 on the bottom. And I believe that's what all these little dots refer to. You can see we do have the airstrip at the top, so that is confirmed. I'm guessing the compound is either down here or over here on the right, but we do have a much better look at how the island is laid out. And then, of course, up here at the top, back at this one, I see it a little bit better, the payouts. So just these two combined, that's $4 million. We don't know if you can go more than that. Like, maybe there's more secondary targets. Maybe there's more of Madrazo files. Like, that's actually interesting how it's called Madrazo files, worth 1.1 mil. But at the maximum, we're going to be getting $4 million, which I feel like is a pretty solid amount. Hopefully we do go more than that though. And then we see some new vehicles. You have the two boats we've seen before in the background, and then this bigger boat in the middle. Probably some customization here. I believe this is, I think that's an NPC. It could be a player character though, but you can see it does have a pretty big gun on it. Just an alternative view. Hopefully these machine guns are actually good, because most of the machine guns in the game kind of suck. But I'm sure this will be one of the ways to get onto this island, just going in guns a-blazing. And then speaking of like the money, the only thing I wanted to point out in this particular instance, actually there's two things. Number one, it doesn't look like it's in the compound. So this could be one of those secondary targets. Like, this is an area just on a different part of the island that we're going to steal this gold. And what's interesting about the gold is that we're picking it up 4 at a time. If you guys remember the casino heist, you picked it up 1 at a time, which went very freaking slow. And of course you had the timer to worry about, so it was annoying when you couldn't get all the gold. But this time it looks like maybe Rockstar learned, like, all right, we'll let you guys get 4 at a time to make things speed up. But yeah, you can pick up 4 at a time, and the fact that this isn't on or in that main compound, this island may be, I guess, bigger than we thought. If you can go to multiple places and rob things, that will be really nice. And then the trailer is pretty much done. We have this final sort of sequence here with the two characters inside of this new helicopter. Like I said, it reminds me of a Huey, a modern armored Huey. I'm sure there's a actual model for this. It does say Marines on it though. So maybe this is how the Fort Zancudo army guys tie into this. Maybe we somehow steal their helicopter, like their prototype helicopter. But this thing looks like a tank, man. This thing better withstand like 10 rockets. We do not want another Valkyrie helicopter fiasco where the thing looks like it's this awesome heli and it just gets blown up in one shot. But I honestly am excited for this. And then we do see that lighthouse, I believe, again, like we saw at the beginning on the promotional art over here on the far right. And that is pretty much it. That is the whole breakdown of the trailer. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I went over some things you might not have picked up on your first viewing. We only have what, like 6 days left until this DLC comes out. That is exciting. Thank you all for watching though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA content. If I missed anything that you guys maybe saw, let me know in the comment section as well. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.